Hello there, Lucy's Kitchen again. Today we are making classical South American dish which called empanadas. These nice little things with different fillings of your choosing, so you can make it your own. You can serve it with different sides, with rice, with potato chips, nachos, salad, whatever it is, or just enjoy it as a snack. And I will show you how to make it very easily. Hello there. I'm saying it again. I don't want to say howdy, okay? But if you're watching from Texas, so howdy to you then. So today we are making empanadas. The first time ever I made empanadas, and it went like kind of variation of what you call in US, if we are from US, pierogi. A, it's not Polish, B, it's not pierogi. Okay, forget about it. Pierogi, yes, it's Russian, Ukrainian and whatever, and Polish, all of it together, wrongly pronounced, and there are different fillings. That's not the point. Empanadas, it is a South American dish, and it could be fried or baked. And I simply love the recipe because this dough is very thin and crispy and very nice. And what is nice, my kid really loved this recipe, and you can use absolutely different fillings. Obviously my kiddo's favorite was meat fillings, variation of ground beef, pork, ham and cheese and corn, and all the options. There are tons of options of filling. So today I'm gonna use, and that's another one good thing about empanadas, that you can use leftovers. If you have leftovers chili, leftover ground beef, if you have leftover pork roast, I do have leftover pork roast today, and that's what I'm gonna use for filling. But let's start from the dough. It does look difficult at the beginning, but it is actually very easy. What you're gonna need a piece of butter, I prefer just to melt it in a microwave, and when you try to defrost it in a microwave, it's still gonna melt most of the times, or it's not going to be soft enough. So, or if it's not a buttery cookie, you can just melt it in a microwave and stop worrying about it. Make sure you cover it with something before you put it in the microwave, because it's gonna jump on you. Okay, here we go, butter. It is a Friday evening for us, so it's already pajama time for me, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm going to make this nice meal. Empanadas are made differently in different countries, in Argentina, Brazil, Peru, I believe, and there are options, and all of them actually good. I will be making baked empanadas due to the calorie count concerned. Well, I'm trying to watch calories, okay? But baked, it's actually very good and not as heavy for the stomach. My kiddo actually preferred baked ones for the same reason. It's very nice for you on your stomach. Okay, butter is almost ready. A couple more seconds. You're gonna need about 3 cups of flour, simple flour, salt, just a bit of salt, 1 egg, that a piece of butter that I showed you. Now there are different proportions, and some recipes actually refer adding not the water. Here is a cold water, it should be cold, that's the secret. Some recipes will not use a cold water, but bouillon, chicken bouillon I believe, and some seasonings, actually herbs inside the dough. I prefer it this way. So I'm gonna add about 3 cups of flour inside. I've added salt already. You're gonna make room in here. That's where you put your butter. Okay. And that's where you're gonna put in 1 egg. Quite nice chicken egg. Not ostrich egg, just a chicken. Okay, now I prefer to stir it with a spoon or fork first. It's just my preference. Some people will already use hands from the beginning. You will add as much water as it takes, and don't worry if you use too much water, you can add extra flour, or if you didn't add enough water, you will see it right now. It's gonna be firm in the end, but not too dry. So make sure the water is cold. I actually prefer using water if the recipe refers to the cold water. I will add an ice cube into the glass and then use it. Just helps it out. Now see, it's getting firm, but again, to make it stretchy, you can't get it too dry. So use your intuition or experience. Once you will be making this dough for hundredth time, you're gonna know what and when and how much. Anyway, I'm not making two empanadas because there are only 2 of us. Even with leftovers, we don't need that many leftovers. So now we don't need this fork anymore. We just made this dough. Okay, if you see you need more flour, you can always add a bit more flour. I actually prefer on this stage adding a bit more flour than water, because if it's already too dry, it's pretty much impossible to mix with extra water, but it's very easy to mix with extra flour. Here you go, it's getting better. Nice. So this is my favorite dough. Easy to make. I used to make a lot of different cookies when my kiddo was little, cakes and all that stuff, baked a lot. I don't do this anymore, and our menu is quite different right now, as we are empty nesters already, and so it is different. When you have a teen in the house, when he comes to visit, obviously it's nice to cook something extra, especially something he preferred from his childhood. But at this moment, we're all stuck with quarantine still. At least us, we prefer not to risk extra. Usually, as for Friday evening as today, we will just have a takeout. But with quarantine, we actually prefer not to take extra risks without going out extra time or bringing something pre-cooked. We ordered Uber Eats once, and Uber Eats closed right now in Ukraine. They didn't make much profit, sounds like. Here we go. That's the dough. Now, the secret to make it work, you cannot use it yet. It's not usable yet. The secret is you need to wrap it in plastic or just cover it very tight. Better plastic actually than just with some fabric. You wrap it into plastic and leave it not in the refrigerator, outside. That's important too. Leave it for not less than 30 minutes. That's important too. This will make all this magic with all the ingredients work, and your dough will be elastic and crispy once you bake. And meanwhile, we can prepare fillings because I didn't start yet. There are recipes that will refer to potatoes. I once make potatoes and eggplants. It wasn't bad. We will need 1 more egg later just to cover it on the top to make it crispy. So 30 minutes for dough, and we're gonna start our filling. Welcome back, Lucy's Kitchen. Now we are making filling for our empanadas. Now, frankly, to me, it was difficult at the beginning with names of dishes, empanadas, enchiladas. You can mix it up in your mind, but it comes to later. So we do have a leftover of the pork roast we baked the other day, and I come from the country where wasting food is real bad thing. So I do have a pork roast. And the next night we made some burritos with this pork roast, just slice it and simmer it with a chili sauce. So today I'm gonna use what left of that and what left of the roast itself as a filling for the empanadas. Right now I have that roast that already nicely chopped and simmered in a chili sauce. I'm gonna make sure that it's all nicely chopped, tiny pieces that will taste better. Now again, the variations of the fillings for empanadas are really wide options. I mean, you can go as fancy as ham and cheese with corn, or olives and chicken breast, or pork roast, or ground beef with seasonings. They are actually very similar in various cultures, as for example, there will be a dish called the chivrek from Georgia country, and the filling will be ground beef with a very nice mix of greens and seasonings, dill, cilantro, and they will add a bit of bouillon inside, so it will be juicy, but it will be fried actually. We're not gonna fry our empanadas, we're gonna bake those, but I'm gonna make the fillings as I do like it, as everybody in my family likes it crispy first. So I do have leftover of the pork roast that's already simmered in a chili sauce for burritos. I'm adding this. Now I do have leftover of the pork roast itself, not a big slice, but I'm gonna use it because again, I come from the country where wasting food is not an option. Wasting nice meat, it's a real bad thing. When something left unused, it does feel real bad for me. Okay, there are pieces of fat that I will be obviously cutting out and not using simply because I don't like it. You don't like it, if you like it, it's obviously your choice. 100% your choice. What do you add inside? What do you want to bite into? Here is the colors of the pork roast itself. We have our dough waiting for 30 minutes, and we have this 30 minutes to make perfect filling. See, it's getting juicy here. We'll make sure that all the juice, the sauce will evaporate and all the flavors will go into the meat itself. Okay, here I add leftover pork roast. It needs also to simmer in this time to collect all the flavors in one. Now, I do add onion and I will add some corn with chili peppers already in there. Whatever you add, it's your choice. Sometimes it's actually a very nice way to simply cook your leftovers, like I do have this pork roast tonight, leftover. And it's just nice way to save it. Empanadas could be served with sides like Mexican rice, like I even seen once served with ramen, kind of ramen or pasta on the side. It could be served with nachos, it could be served with green salad, or it could be simply served with deep sauce. To us, I remember it was like we call it pirozki, just the way to snack on, or actually when you have more than one, more like a meal, obviously. And it was just very nice. My kid loved it. The meal replaced with kind of snack. So happy about it. Okay. Here we have our onion joining our mix. I do like adding onion even if I make empanadas just with ground beef. It adds a bit of juiciness and a bit of spiciness. Sort of. Now this mix is already well seasoned with chili, but if you prefer spicy or not spicy, so you make it your own. Again, I'm not making too much because I don't want extra leftovers again. We already have some. I do have a bit of red beans left over. I might add it inside also. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. Again, saving the day. Make sure it will sit and get crispy first, and then you're gonna mix with beans and corn and everything else. And I'm gonna show you how it looks once we get it crispy. Welcome back to Lucy's kitchen. We do have fillings for our empanadas. In this case, it is leftover pork roast, well seasoned, nicely chopped and fried again with onions, and then you add a bit of corn and red beans and chili peppers. This will be our filling. Again, you can use whatever you want. There are salad options. Here is our soup pan already prepared with parchment paper, oiled, and you're gonna preheat your oven to 180 or 119 Celsius. Our dough is well rested, wrapped in plastic here. So what we're gonna do next? Obviously, we're gonna need some flour here. You take this dough and actually by hand you're gonna divide it with try to do it into equal pieces. Just like this, half, then half, and then half again. This will be 3 probably. Here you go. I have 5 here. And I have almost 5 here. And let's try to make it equal before the dough is tied to roll. Okay, there you go. So I do have 10 pieces. You can make as much dough as you want. It can be 20 or 50, depending on how many people come in to dinner. I do have 10 right now. You take this piece like this, and then you roll it nicely, very thin, about 1 millimeter thick. Nice. It should be round, obviously. If it didn't work for the first time, don't worry, not a big deal, still can make it work. Now make sure that the edges are not too thick, you want it thin and nice, and this way it will be crispy taste. Okay, the first one is ready for me. You take some filling. Put it in the middle, just like this. And then you just close it. So what you can do with edges, you can roll it nicely like this, so it will have a nice and accurate shape. Or you can use a fork to make this nice marks like they show in magazines, or nice photographs from online. Any of these options will be good. The first is ready. Now the rest of them. Again, welcome back. Here we have our 10 empanadas, nicely prepared. And remember I told you we're gonna need one more egg? Exactly, that's the secret how you make them crispy, browny, and really looking great. Now what we do, we just cover it. You can spread some chili flakes on the top if you want, or just use your dipping sauce. Up to you, absolutely. Again, 1,000 options here. There you go. Nicely covered. Our oven is already on, waiting for empanadas. You're gonna bake it about 15 or 20 minutes. Wait till it gets crispy and browny. Now, these mine are not looking like a magazine type, but they will taste real good. Ready to go. Now this beauty goes into the oven for 15 or 20 minutes, 180 or 190 degrees Celsius. See you in 15 minutes. Welcome back. 20 minutes later, you can see our nice crispy brownie empanadas. You can bake it a bit longer if you want it real dark. I do prefer it exact this way. You can make them smaller or mid-size as I do. Again, feelings completely different. So enjoy your dinner.